Hey everyone, it's Stranger Grayson here. Welcome to another horror movie review. This is a movie that I really didn't find interesting at all, and it's probably on pars with Silent Night Deadly Night 3 as one of my least favorite movies. I mean, it's just it's in the territory of so bad it's good, but at the same time it's so bad it's bad. You know what I mean? And that movie I will be talking about today is the sequel to the Gingerdead Man franchise, Gingerdead Man 2, The Passion of the Crust. Yeah, you can obviously tell this title is ripping something off. Probably The Passion of the Christ, the movie. Yeah, so anyway, Gingerdead Man 2, what is it about? Basically, Gingerdead Man 2 follows a son of a movie movie director, and he has recently taken over. His name is Kelvin Cheatman, or Kelvin Cheatham. I'm sorry, Kelvin Cheatham, and he has taken over from his father's business after his father passed away, and he is now running the movie business with everything. And business has not been doing so great. They've had tons of bombs with their movies. Yeah, so things really haven't been doing great. But now he's filming another movie called Tiny Terrors 9, Purgatory of the Petite. And this movie is being very repetitively overdone because, they made 8 of them, so they make a 9th one. You run into a few more characters of this movie, which I'm not really get into many detail because there's not that many characters in here I really enjoy. Honestly, none of these characters I really enjoy, if I gotta be honest. And of course, the whole cast and crew is on edge because of all these box office bombs. They're getting ready to quit, and this lady comes in, like this lady that thinks she's hot and everything comes in with some treats and products, and one of those treats inside the box is a gingerbread man. And while they're filming this movie, let's just say Gingerdead Man comes back to life. Now, they don't explain how he came back to life at the end of the first movie. They just, you have a brief summary of the first movie in, the first 5 minutes of this movie. And then they never explain how he got out of that. They never explain how he got out of Brick's body, And they never explain that. He's just in the box, for no reason whatsoever. And, of course, he wakes up, and he sees what's going on with all these people running around trying to film a movie. And let's just say he breaks out of the box and he goes on his murder spree again. Gingerdead Man 2 was honestly not a great film. I didn't have any motivation for these characters. I wasn't rooting for any of them. Really, the only one I really liked was the Gingerdead Man himself, who is not played by Gary Busey. He's played by somebody else now. I'm honestly surprised Gary Busey took part in the first film. But anyway, Gary Busey does not come back to play Gingerdead Man, or to voice Gingerdead Man. He is voiced by another person now. Kelvin Cheatham, of course, he's supposed to be your main character. He's sort of like this douchebag that becomes hero, stuff like that with the not nostalgic, what do you call it? I don't know what to call it. I'm sorry. But, he's trying to become this villain turned hero, sort of like Train to Busan, I'm pretty sure. And he there's just no character development in this movie whatsoever. I gotta be honest. The only thing that brings this up from Silent Night Deadly Night 3 is the Gingerdead Man and some of the kills. Now, these kills are gory, but at the same time, it's bad. There's one kill where this gay character gets a curling iron shoved up his butt, and he starts doing like gay guy voices, like he's getting a wiener shoved up him. It's so stupid. I was laughing of how bad that kill was, but they did put a lot of blood and gore in that. Probably because one of the actors in this movie is John Carl Beekler, and if you don't know him, he does a lot of practical effects in the horror community. Unfortunately, he passed away a couple years ago, which was very unfortunate. He is very missed by the horror community. But I believe this is where a lot of the gore and the effects come from with John Carl Beekler. You also have Greg Nicotero. That's probably another reason why all the gore and the blood looks so good. Greg Nicotero plays himself as well as John Carl Beekler. They play themselves in this movie. At least George Romero does. Not George Romero. Greg Nicotero. Greg Nicotero plays himself in this movie. I'm not too sure about John Carl Beekler, but don't hold me to that. They may be playing characters in this movie. You were also introduced to this lady and her supposed child that has a terminal illness. This man does not look like a child. I can tell you that right off the bat. He is not a child. You can obviously tell they did not want to hire kid actors for this, so they just went with a dude that looked like a kid. And you can obviously tell, like, this movie was not planned out well, you know? The ending to this movie was honestly not that great. It was cool, to see what happened to the villain, of course. I'm not going to tell you what happened to him, but the ending was alright, I guess. It's really not that great of a movie, though. Overall, it's really not that great of a movie. Diving into this franchise, I was assuming it was going to be cheesy, but not to the point where it would suck balls. But this movie manages to do everything Silent Night, Deadly Night 3 did, but just a little bit better. If it didn't have the good practical effects, blood and gore, and the Gingerdead man, doing his thing, this would probably be tied with Silent Night, Deadly Night 3 as my least favorite movie. It's honestly probably my second least favorite movie now out of the whole channel so far. This is probably my second least favorite movie I've watched. Not raging as bad because Silent Night, Deadly Night 3 just ruined everything that the Chapman storyline had going for it. But yeah, this still was not a great movie to sit through. I honestly had to take breaks in between because I was just getting so annoyed with the storyline and how they were trying to explain things, It was like almost unbearable to sit through. Not as bad as Silent Night, Deadly Night 3, but it's definitely my second least favorite movie that I've reviewed on the channel. Yeah, it was not great. And that's leaving me scared to watch Gingerdead Man 3 Saturday Night Cleaver because I really am nervous that it's going to be even worse than this movie. But I'm hoping that they learn from their mistakes in this movie and they try to do something better with what they got. In this movie, they also have some other people besides the Gingerdead Man. Like you got a pirate here, and then you also have this old dude. They're sort of like not really used until the very end, but you'll see why once you watch this movie. But I don't recommend watching this. Anyway, that has been my review on Gingerdead Man 2: The Passion of the Crust. This movie was was a major letdown. Don't get your hopes up for this movie. This isn't gonna top 1. This is probably worse than 1. And my second least favorite movie that I've ever had to review on this channel. If it wasn't for the dude that voiced Gingerdead Man and the kills with Greg Nicotero, helping out, this would probably be with Silent Night, Deadly Night 3. So, yeah. Anyways, that has been my review on Gingerdead Man 2: The Passion of the Crust. If I had to rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, I would probably give it about a 4. Yeah, 4.5. But what is everyone's thoughts on Gingerdead Man 2? Let me know down in the comment section down below. Would love to hear your thoughts on it. thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. God bless and have a good day. Bye, everyone.